Well, hello. Here we are today again, and I've got little Dio with me. We're both looking a little rough. It's just allergy season for me, and this little guy, he kind of goes at my pace. He hasn't been brushed or anything, and it's still too early in the spring to trim him down. It's still awfully cold. And this little guy, for the longest time, went without hair all last winter. It's just horrible, and he's doing so good now. Anyway, he definitely wants to say hello. And today's video, let's put him over here. I've got some good treats for him where I think he'll be very happy. And I may have to stop the use the pause. I know where that is. Today's video is going to be about humans. What are humans? You know what humans are? Humans are storytellers. We are storytellers so powerfully that we turn our stories into reality. That's what we are. There are no other animals on this planet. Okay, here's a goodie that can do that. We do that. And I do think the other animals dream. I see my little dog with me all the time in dreams. There was one day that we were taking a nap because he sleeps with me and he likes to put his head on a pillow too. And we were looking into each other's eyes. And this little voice came back to me and said, Mama, I'm leaving for a little bit now to go see a friend, but I'll be back. So I think they do dream, but we have a way, and it's a double-edged sword, that we make our stories come true. And we also, like we have all these different religions, and I don't want to insult anyone on their religion because all these religions, what do? They turn it into reality. That's what they do. All these different religions, and then everyone's supposed to have the one true story, but not everybody feels that way. So, humans are storytellers. We're very powerful. And I guess what I'd like to say too, and again, this probably won't be the longest video. I'm just not doing that well these days, but I'm gonna stay with getting a video out once a week. I can do that right now. And um, just to be consistent, just to do that. And hopefully I won't bore the heck out of too many people and maybe I'll get some subscribers. That'll be good. Someday maybe I can get an iPhone and I'll be able to go around to different places. That's my biggest objective, and to take it on the road and show more in these videos. Now, to me, my generation, the boomers, really were the first generation in a long time that questioned the narrative. And we still question the narrative, many of us. Now, many of us, some of the older ones, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Even the Gen Xers, I think, they question the narrative now, especially as they're getting older. So that we don't always have to buy into another human's storytelling. We can actually change reality by changing the story. And we really do change the story. Now, I just finished a really pretty good science fiction book. I haven't read any fiction for a while. It's been a more study of text and self-help and what's going on in the world, which I am so sick of, I don't even want to think about. Talk about storytelling. I sure hope we get a better story there. Um, and if it doesn't get better, I hope the ETs do show up and say, oh no, there'll be no more of that. So, um, we'd like to continue our stories, be they what they are. We'd all like to do that, wouldn't we? So we are all storytellers, and we truly can change the story and reality. Now it's so interesting. I'll watch different groups, because I'm rural right now, and I don't work anymore, and I don't have a lot of interaction with the public or anything anymore. I used to do volunteer work, which actually helped get me out and about with people. But I gather information now on the internet, on YouTube, on Facebook, on on just the internet, and we've got quite the story right now. And I think that it can change it by having other stories. And so that's what I'm hoping for all of us to have better stories, or have better stories. I listen to Elon Musk a lot, and I like a lot of what he has to say. He's a very smart man, of course. I think he's not got everything right. We always expect people to have everything right, as if they're supposed to be know-it-alls in every department of life. Well, I don't think they are. Now, he has some massive ideas about going into space and going to Mars and all that, but, I really don't think it's gonna happen with the technology they're using right now. And I think there is some other technology. Now, some of you boomers may be following some of this other stuff too, um, that's out there eh, that's what will get us, to Mars and beyond. And I, quite frankly, I'll say not too much about it. I think there are people already here doing that, even a breakaway civilization from here that continued after the last, shall we say, start over about 12,000 years ago. I think that they still operate here. They're humans. They're humans. And you've got to think about it. Going into space, we are evolved off this planet. You're going to have to mimic everything that this planet does for us wherever we go. Or gosh, who knows what we're going to turn into by different elements and environment from other places. Maybe some people think these supposed grays, I don't want nothing to do with them. Let's stay with the humans. Anyway, they think that they're actually humans that have become something else, and maybe going to other places would turn them into that. I don't know anything about that, but I think I'd like to circle around here because I don't want to make this too long today, but something for you to think about. Just how we create reality. We do. We create reality. Of course, within some physical laws, but there are people that seem to go beyond physical laws, though. Some of these masters, they go beyond the physical laws. So there's something more. There's something even more. Human beings are very powerful beings. We, I think, have forces. And here again, we're the boomers, we question the narrative. There are forces that are working very hard to keep us dumbed down and um, in a certain box of reality for their benefit. And I think it's keeping us from becoming who we really can become. We also, uh, I don't even want to think about it. You know, we just got too much war on this planet. It's just, it really is the males of our species that they're designed a certain way. And I don't mean to insult anybody. It's just the way we are. It's why I don't go along with this transgender thing. You really cannot change your sex. You may not like your sex, but you can't change it. You can take some hormones, you can do surgeries, mutilation, really. But in the end, you're going to be who you are. But we are a species that were designed to work together. Truly, we are. And the male is certainly much physically stronger than the female. Um, he's made that way for purpose. He's a life protector. He was designed because the female, she carries those babies in her bodies. She has little babies she's got to take care of. We wouldn't even survive without the male. Wha we'd get eaten. And so he's designed it a different way. He had to go out and hunt for us. We needed that protein. I know there's a lot of people disagree with that, but most of us are meat eaters. So anyway, he was designed to go out and hunt. He was designed to go out and prey. You know, that's one of the qualities he developed. He was designed to protect those females and their children. Very noble being, really, very noble. But the problem is, it gets skewed. The males are always fighting amongst each other. I mean, just you know, we really the female needs to come in and do her thing of what she does is being diplomatic. Really, a lot of us are diplomats. We have to be. Um, we come in with nurturing and love and kind of settle things down. Like my grandmother, my Granny Nell, when we would go see her as a family in Fillmore, Utah, the first thing she'd do is sit us all down and feed us. And it's just really nice. Oh, and she also at the entryway always had these pine nuts. Oh God, you could always get a handful of pine nuts when you came in the door. I mean, it was such a welcoming, harmonious environment. So this is what the female does, and it can help soothe and calm the male down. We that's how we are. We're different, and we work together. And we've lost that ability in these stories that we tell to do that. We've lost the ability to have harmony between the male and female and find better ways and more creative ways to create a beautiful world. Um, so I guess that's what I have to say today. Um, you know, I, it's not so easy doing a video every week. So I'm still working at it. Let's see where I'm at 3 years from now. These will be my early videos of where I really put some intention into getting them done. So I hope you got something out of this talk today. Number one, human beings are storytellers. To me, Mother Earth, we are her greatest creation in the species she brought up in evolution on this planet. I think every planet that can create life, that is their greatest wish, is to create a species like us. And so I hope we will do her honor and begin to tell better stories because we can totally change reality. And these people in power who, gosh, all they want to do is put poison out and start wars and send missiles here and send missiles there and terrify us all with nuclear war. That if we all change in consciousness, we all flip in a different way, at some point, that energy, I'm quite certain, will go out onto the electromagnetic waves of our Mother Earth. And that's why we have the 100th monkey phenomenon that happens, is because it travels. We are in communication with this planet, whether we know it or not. And the more of us that begin to create a better story, we all must get along with each other, even with all our different stories of our different religions or whatever. We must be respectful, as long as they're not. You know, we love each other. We treat each other fairly. That don't beat each other up. This is not things that the female likes at all, at all. So let's tell better stories. The boomer generation, you guys, we were the first ones to really question the narrative. And the narrative that was coming down, I'll tell you, we all think the good old days, they weren't such the good old days. People were so brainwashed back then, totally brainwashed back then by these powers that be. I think they're losing a grasp on us. So let's keep it going that way. So, all right. Leave any comments that you would like that, you know, if there's anything more you agree with me or disagree or would like to see me talk about on this channel, let me know. And I hope what I did today has made you think about how we are storytellers. And by our stories, we change reality. All right.